G'day, Bomber fans. I'm a bit late to the party here. I've been busy, but it's a sad news week, obviously. Dyson Heppell has announced his retirement, not breaking any news here. It was looking like a possibility in the last few rounds, so not a surprise to many, but still upsetting regardless. You never want to say goodbye to club champions like this. I've only ever really felt this way about a handful of players. Haven't been around long. I guess Fletcher ending, Job Watson. Maybe I was too young for Lloyd and Hurd to have a big impact, but Dyson Heppell, this one's a big one for me. For as long as I've properly followed the Bombers, not followed because I have my whole life, but I guess followed with an understanding of the sport and of players and how the game works. Heppell has been there. I've never really been able to picture Essendon without Dyson Heppell there, and it's definitely an age thing for me. I'm only in my early 20s. I'm not a long-time fan like some of you in the comments, but I don't know. For me, it's the end of an era almost. As hard as that drug scandal was, it was when I was getting most into the sport and most into Essendon. I felt like I was always getting optimistic about what the Bombers could become after it ended, and Heppell was a major part of that. I really do believe that Heppell was a big reason for some fans sticking with the club around the scandal. It was a horrible time to be a Bombers fan, but we came out of it feeling, I guess, hopeful. Obviously, it was for nothing in the end, but there was genuine hope there because of guys like Heppell being on the other side of the tunnel. He led us through our most difficult period as a club. He captained us after Watson, taking on pressure at the lowest peak of our existence. This is a guy we really take for granted. We all respect him, obviously, but we can't look lightly at what he's done at Essendon. He's achieved no real success. He's only been a top player in the comp for a small period, but Heppell has evidently been tremendous off-field in helping the club afloat and on-field with his courage and bravery. This dude bleeds red and black. I'm going to talk about what this all means for the team in a bit, what it means for Friday night. I'm going to touch more on Hepp's career and achievements. But I just want to yap on a bit, I guess, talk about the impact this guy's had on me being an Essendon fan. There's no real structure to this video. I'm just gonna go with the flow. But it just felt good knowing that a guy like Heppell, who cared so much about his team, was in the four walls. Even when he wasn't playing well, you just know that the passion for the club he had would seep through to the other boys. I genuinely think it's rare to get guys that love their team as much as this. He obviously grew up an Essendon fan. He was drafted to the Bombers. He was thrown in the deep end with the drug scandal. He had his career really put on the back foot because of it. He got loads of trade offers to move to a better club, a more stable club, offers that he really should have taken, but this guy loved the team so much he decided to come back and lead it through, knowing full well that he could be getting more success somewhere else. This is a guy that bleeds red and black, as I said, and something that sounds dramatic, but it's hard to argue, is questioning whether we will ever get another player in our club that cares as much about the club as Dyson Heppell. I hope I'm wrong, but if he ever wants to get into coaching, I'd love to see him as a development coach, because from all accounts, he's an incredible person to have around the team. Losing him feels more significant than just losing a good player retiring, because he's not even that great a player, Heppell. As I said, he was only really a good player for a few seasons, but you feel like when you lose someone like Heppell, it's more about the impact on each player off the field that you lose. He's clearly one of the most highly respected players in the comp. You see it everywhere he goes. People love him. Us fans love him. So let's talk a bit about Heppell and his achievements. Alrighty, let's go back to the start of his career. Heppell was a country boy, Leongatha born. He was a star in his draft year, one of the very best for Vic country. But right before the draft, some concerns over his body were raised, which saw him actually slide down the order past what many thought he deserved to be. It did mean we could snatch him up with pick 8. In hindsight, a very lucky situation. Even if his body was a constant issue in his career, we were still lucky to get him across. He made an instant impact in 2011, his first year, playing almost every game with the club. He was a bright spark that year, and it resulted in him winning the Rising Star Award. He was the first ever Essendon player to win that award. He didn't slow down there. The next year, he won the AFL's Best Young Player Award after an impressive 20-game season where he averaged well over 20 touches a game. And in 2013, he was named in the Essendon leadership group for the first time in just his third year, at 21 years of age. He was also named the captain of the 22 under-22 team, which he would feature again in the next year. 2014 was Heppell's best year by far. We saw him blossom into an elite midfielder in the comp. He wasn't just Essendon's best player, winning his first, surprisingly only, Crichton medal, but he became one of the best in the comp. He was named All-Australian. He came 8th for the Lee Matthews Trophy. Heppell was just really hitting his straps in 2014. He was still really young, 22 or 23, but then the drug scandal really started to hit its peak. 2015 was horrible for the club. Heppell was a shining light. He finishing 3rd in the Crichton, and obviously he was banned for the entirety of the 2016 season, a moment which would really halt his development and set him back as a player player on the field. He and many others returned in 2017. He was named the captain of the club, taking over from Joe Watson and carrying the load of the drug scandal pressure on his shoulders for many years. He led us through one of our best years in decades as well, 2017, making finals. Another good Crichton finish. 2018 and 19 was really the last we would see of Heps in the guts before his body really started to plague him. He averaged 26 disposals both years. Unfortunately from there, it was a mix of foot issues, form wobbles and age that saw Heppell drop to the back line, miss lots of footy, give over the captaincy to Zach Merritt, and eventually, for the first time in his career, be omitted from the team just a few weeks ago late into this 2024 season. Heppell's career has slowly been winding down for years now. Since COVID, there have been questions. There were rumours of a trade to Gold Coast, rumours that he was set to announce his retirement a good 2 to 3 years before he actually did. He found some great form at times in 2023 and most recently early in 2024, but it was never really consistent due to nothing but age. At his best, Heppell was genuinely one of the best players in the comp. All-Australian, Crichton medalist, Rising Star winner, 252 games, the 15th most for the club. One of the toughest, longest serving captains of our team through one of the hardest times as well. That is Heppell's career, really, when you look at it. Right player, right guy, wrong time. When we look back at the guys that deserve success, Heppell is obviously one of them. This is a guy that deserves a flag more than most in the comp. Unfortunately, though, he retires without ever tasting success in September. I think also just the work Heppell does outside of footy, his friendship with Harrison has been, for a while, a big part of his personality. His selflessness, both on and off the field, is evident. I remember watching Roaming Brian once after a win, and Heppell was being asked lots of stupid questions by BT, nothing surprising there, and he was just redirecting everything towards H and his battle with scleroderma. I feel like Heppell constantly used his platform to try and make things not about him. He could have easily basked in the moment, in the fame of being a footy player, being a star of a team, but he always made it about other people and just tried to make those around him better or happier in the process, depending on the situation. I remember the first time I ever met Heppell. I was at the airport waiting for photos, a teenager, probably like 13 or 14. I was just in awe of how calm Heppell made me and the other kids feel, even though we were all meeting our idol for the first time. He has such an infectious energy that I cannot imagine being anything but good for a club. It's going to be weird without him there, but I think it would be cool if we all, as fans, left down our favourite Heppell moments in the comments below, whether it's his work with H or an individual accolade, or maybe that Carlton pre-game rev-up a few years ago, or the Round 1 2017 performance. I know that's my favourite. Whatever it is, leave it down below. What does this mean for the future? Well, it means we should probably see more from players like Archie Roberts, almost a like-for-like in terms of position and adaptability. We should see some room in the salary cap free up as well. A retirement always means there could be one less delisting. So maybe a guy we thought would be unlucky, a Kane Baldwin or Jaden Davey, maybe they're given another chance because of this retirement. And Heppell said that. He said once younger guys start coming through to play his role, he'll call it quits. He's a team-first player. Archie Roberts obviously came in and started playing better footy than him, so that was when he knew it was time up. So yes, it is sad. Essendon with Heppell is going to be really weird. I'm going to miss him more than I've ever missed any player, but it's for the best. I just hope he gets a send-off game. Teams are out tomorrow or tonight by the time this is out, so hopefully he's listed so we can all cheer him off for one last time at a home game. I'm going to be at the match. I'm hoping Heppell's going to be there too, because I'd love nothing more than to be able to clap off one of the most loyal and respected figures at Essendon in a long time. Alright, I guess that is that. Now, I know he's probably never going to watch this video. Footy players always stick away from stuff like this, but I just hope he knows how much I and all of us fans really loved him as a player and a person at the club. It's hard to put into words just how much of an impact this guy had on me supporting this team. So thank you, Dyson. On behalf of every Essendon fan, I thank you for your service. It's a shame that you never got to taste the glory you deserved, but at least we know that as soon as the Dons get there, you'll be cheering from the crowd, supporting your boyhood club. As I said, I don't know if the team will ever get a player that loves and cares for Essendon as much as Heppell does, but to be fair, it's a high bar he's set. So cheers for everything, Heppell. All the best for your future endeavours. We're going to miss you. As for you guys, in the comments or watching the video, get out to the game on Friday to support the great man if he does get a send-off. Hope to see a full house if he does. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and go Bombers.